coming up. Spoiler alert. Yeah, although to be fair, in the context of Breaky's tweet, he was really talking about how China does a better job building up the Tier 2 scene. You know, a lot of the teams have like training squads. They use their resources to pull top players from the ladder into a more serious environment. And I think that is really on point. You know, you can argue where those teams are at on their progression, but I think China is by far the best region in cultivating that next generation.
Yeah, if you look at all these other regions, NA is really bad. I think even like CAS is pretty bad. Where is that stable Tier 2 scene of teams? It just doesn't really exist. There's no consistent tournaments to play. There's no ladder to kind of climb your way up. You just know you're not going to make it to many lands. So.
I remember people used to say that about Europe was that it was easier to coast along as a like student kind of deal where like you didn't have to work as much and try and like that's why the esports would be better there.
Interesting.
Like it's harder, like better social system in terms of taking care of you. So.
It's interesting.
Because I feel like a team like in NA, like Leviathans, if they were a team in China, they'd be consistent, played salaries. They could be a stable, full-time professional team, but because they play in NA, it's like, well, you know, you disband every 2 weeks, you change rosters every 3 weeks. There's no stability.
Go home. Like you either
so
win
what
or
I
you
heard is that if BSJ lived in China, he would be at TI. Is that basically what you're saying?
I mean,
absolutely.
Absolutely. 100%.
That's a great deduction.
Teams in China, you know, he's the next big star to look out for. Pick him up.
Bring back Canada Cup, man. We need some of these like Tier 3 level events for those Tier 2 teams to play in.
I want a Newfie team. I want
Newfie
all
team?
Newfies.
I still want to do the Newfie
And we would do one of those
studio.
things where like you can listen to the team communication and they couldn't get mad at people like ruining their strats because no one understands what they're saying anyway.
What's a Newfie?
That'd be perfect.
People that live in
a
Newfoundland.
Newfoundlander.
Oh.
They have a very unique accent that's sort of like a hybrid of Scottish, Canadian, and gibberish. It's really hard to understand.
It's something else.
But
I can't even understand them, and I live next to them.
Yeah. But opener here, Clockwork for LFY, right into a Mirana Sand King for Invictus Gaming.
Oh, I haven't seen any Mirana in a while because it keeps getting banned out.
Yeah, first phase.
LFY is saying they value the Clockwork. Wait, so they were first pick.
Yeah.
So they value the Clockwork over the IO and the Naga?
IO's banned. And
yeah,
Naga's
but they were
banned.
first pick.
Yeah. And they banned it.
So they went away from the Clockwork in that game 3, and it was unbanned, right? Untouched?
Well, they had the Eats, or no.
They picked Sand King instead of
Sand
IO.
King early, and then they left
LFY has lost faith in their ability to win with IO, but IG Baboka, he has been crushing on the hero. I don't think he's lost with it.
Yeah, it's just interesting, though, that a first pick team skipping the IO.
Yeah, maybe IO's not as epic as you think he is.
No, I think it's just that the LFY don't play it well. That's what sucks. And like,
Hero still has a really high skill cap.
Yeah,
I mean that's the thing that I think is overlooked with the Wisp dialogue is we talk like, oh, they picked Wisp, the game's over, but you still not only need a player that can play Wisp, but as we saw from LFY, you need to play around the Wisp. It is a team strategy. It's not just a broken hero free win if you pick it. You still really have to play around it well, and that's when the hero looks, you know, godlike broken.
And I think that's the bigger issue now than the skill cap of the hero itself, because you could like go into, you know, well, not necessarily pubs, but you can practice the mechanics of the hero, and it's so much easier now to play. But I think that it's a lot harder to practice that play style without doing scrims.
10 seconds remaining.
That feels like it's the roadblock more so than other things. Mirana, I feel like this hero is so strong right now. Like you can pair together Void, you could go Naga Siren. You get an arrow down, it feels like that hero is dead almost entirely.
It's just this flexible core in the first phase. It's great.
Yeah.
It's the same reason we were kind of digging on the Faceless Void.
And the early DP pick for LFY, lock in Super's hero. Not surprising, but it's stable.
There's a silencer ban. None of that.
The hero's up there, guys. Look at that.
Yeah.
China setting the meta.
I guess it's pretty nice against Mirana. She tends to be very elusive, and that is one way you guarantee she doesn't get off all those leaps in those mid-game fights where she would ordinarily survive.
We'll see a lot of it in SEA as well, because the TNC Tigers were picking it. Some of the teams are reversing it. Seem to be breaking out in SEA as well. I think this is an emerging hero in the 5-position role.
You know who is not an emerging hero in the 5-position role? AA.
No.
Hero vanished.
You're right.
Yep.
We used to talk about him all the time when it was like the DP being on the enemy team. But I mean, AA Sand King's a great combo.
Yeah.
Bring back AA. Make AA a hero again. We'll see.
I guess the main issue is what the laning stage with AA. These dual lanes don't really doesn't really feel strong enough.
Yeah, well, a lot of his core partners also got nerfed. The Sven getting nerfed really hurts AA because you can't do the like sweet AA Sven dual lane.
Yeah.
AA CK is still strong. I think CK is definitely an undervalued hero right now.
It feels like AA might. I would agree with that, but maybe AA is too far in the middle, where supports are very polarized. You got like the Warlock tier, where it's all defense with some ability to team fight, and then you've got like the Sand Kings, who's playing, or Sand King Lesh, where they're doing like big damage. They've got this crazy duo, and outside of like AA CK, I'm not sure where he doesn't really save your safe lane. He doesn't really win your off lane.
Yeah.
I feel like you almost need to play him in a 4 to make it work. Like put him in the off lane with some tanky melee hero, like if Skywrath is banned or something like that.
Yeah, but then the question is, why aren't you just picking Skywrath or Zeus?
Exactly.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what I'm
That's the
thinking.
problem.
Like you've got these really big damage dealers, and then you've got great control heroes, and he just.
And if you look at the safe lane, like you almost rather have a Warlock because he secures your lane, and AA doesn't really secure lanes. He perhaps gives you kills, but kills don't win you a lane. Like you may have that one, like, oh, we used a stun plus cold feet with chilling touch, we got this kill, and then those heroes come back to lane, and
You can't last hit.
Now
That's where the gold is.
Yep. Last hits denies matter way more, and Warlock gives you that. He's not just because it's last hitting, but the heal factor is just way better.
Yep.
Silencer seems like a new hero that's pretty good at just securing lanes as well.
Maybe the Bobica Rubik here versus the Clockwork, if they just want to not reveal too much else.
Could be a good Rubik game.
Yep.
Bane is also still in.
I guess that reveals the Sand King on the core role if you're picking Rubik, most likely.
Most likely, yeah, that's true.
They go the other way.
DK?
China's so not afraid to show mids once they know the matchup, too.
Yeah.
They're so fine with that in a lot of our games. It's interesting. Even though they have last pick.
It's been all like just 1v1 mid anyways, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, the only thing that you might be worried about is potentially getting like a lane swap or something, putting DP safe lane.
But then you've got a DK, so who cares
Right,
who
exactly.
it is? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Definitely a hero that's on the rise, and now the Bane goes the other way for LFY.
Actually, I wouldn't mind them swapping it up and take like an SF now, SF clock, and then put DP safe lane. Although then you have super playing SF, which
Yeah, I don't know how Monet's SF is, because I assume that's what would happen.
yeah, I think you're right, definitely.
Super's played a bit of SF.
Yeah.
He used to play it a lot when in the mech SF days.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's way back. That's
Yeah.
Jeez.
So capable on the hero. I don't know if he's played it much recently.
I wouldn't mind seeing it. I feel like it's a pretty freaking good matchup against DK.
Yeah. That's a good matchup. It's the guaranteed kind of lane winner with the Clockwork Souls. I don't mind it here at all. But Bane, great pick. Just, you know, these are the kind of supports you want. Secure a lane.
Whoa.
Shadow Demon, okay. The
Shadow
counter
Demon.
to DPs. Now, this is the
Yeah.
new age counter to Death Prophet with the
Totally.
Purge.
The Purge plus the Soul Catcher to buffer up.
And Shadow
Disruption,
Demon, Mirana.
Yep.
Seems like a good SD pick.
They
Yeah,
don't have
very
any
nice.
good heroes to get illusions of right now. We may see that as their last pick if they want to run a 3-position Mirana in the off lane.
I like that a lot. 3-position Mirana off lane with the Sand King. Could go like Luna or something there. Oh,
Alright,
here
we're
it is.
back.
Great.
Bangalier.
Passive against the DK sounds great. I think
Totally.
these DKs we keep seeing just become unkillable.
Yeah.
I'm actually really feeling the DK is like one of those top heroes right now, at least in this qualifier, because of just how hard teams have struggled to kill them.
Yeah, there's been some flame on the old Pango passive, but I think that's probably going to get fixed. 'Cause, like, if you're at negative armor, it like brings you back to 0, which is kind of
Right.
lame.
Oh, yeah.
But not an issue here, obviously, with the DK. This guy will surely never be at negative armor.
Yep.
So,
Good point.
That is still an unfortunate mechanic, though.
yeah, but I feel like that'll get fixed.
I still don't mind LFY going SF, but they might just take something else, safe lane. Other heroes for
I
IG.
think Morph is still there. I mean,
Yeah.
depends on how Monet's feeling on this one, but I do think Morph is pretty strong.
I think Lifesteal looks good. Is Lifesteal banned? No.
Nope.
It's still in the pool.
Yeah, it's true. Just, you know, it's not broke. I mean, there is the Purge, I suppose, but honestly, that just means your DP's not getting purged.
Yeah.
And the other scary thing is that there's the save against Lifestealer, and like a lot of leaping away, burrow strike away.
It's nice because it's a hero that doesn't care about getting disrupted. Like if you're against Shadow Demon, you play like a Luna or something. It just doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
Like, giving him those illusions.
Same with Morphling
Yep.
to that end as well.
That's
Can be
true.
very dangerous.
10 seconds remaining.
But that's also where maybe the Death Prophet safe lane makes sense, like you suggested, Gabe.
5 seconds remaining.
What's it gonna be?
In terms of what they're missing, they already have quite a few tools. They have good catch and initiation with the clockwork, and then follow up from the Pangolier. Like, it's always nice having a mobile hero to go with the hook shot. They have objective taking with the Death Prophet. So yeah, it's pretty open, and
wow, they go.
It's gonna be the little
Sick.
I'm
niche
so happy
pick
for
they
this. This is
have.
going to be awesome.
Yeah,
This
so we've seen this fit 6th band a couple times.
Yeah.
But this is great. A lot of minus armor, some good big right-clicking damage there.
Heart
Big time
piercer.
physical.
And Clinks. That sounds interesting. Onto a DK.
Very mobile as well. So we get in the back line. Maybe the Orchid Carrier.
10 seconds
Lock down that Mirana. Pick off the Shadow Demon.
I think even if he doesn't get an Orchid, like, if you get one stun into Mirana, like, she's just going to die to that jumping out Clinks.
The Strafe.
Because even if you're, like, trying to leap away, you're not going to disjoin him.
You can... Strafe will dodge a DK stun, I guess.
Yeah.
Will it dodge a Sanking Burrow Strike?
I
No.
don't think so,
No,
because it's
okay.
not a projectile.
I don't think it dodges DK stun.
Does it
will
dodge DK
Well, it's a
stun?
projectile.
Oh, if he's in range form?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it would, wouldn't it?
It's
Yeah.
one of those weird spells. I play a
Yeah,
lot of
I
Clinks.
don't know. I
honest-
haven't seen the Clinks.
I honestly don't know what Strafe blocks and doesn't block.
Yeah.
It's
There's
like you
so
say,
many
it's the
weird things.
projectiles, but like, what is a projectile?
Yeah.
What isn't?
There are some weird mechanics there, and I'm not enough of a
He
Clinks
can't
player
dodge
to know.
duel.
No.
I can tell you that one.
But he can't live through it.
Like, can you dodge Shadow Poison? That's just that sounds like a projectile
Okay,
to me.
there's no way. Come on.
I'm pretty
now.
sure you can't, but it's like, how is that not a projectile? You know?
Yeah.
It flies through the air.
I guess it's not targeted. Maybe that's a key
Yeah, I
difference.
think it's the.
All right, well, we're going
like
to be
the
learning.
bench stuns.
We're all going to be picking up some tomes of knowledge and being enlightened on what
Ah.
Strafe does
Well
here.
done. Do you guys like the LC final pick, though?
Put Mirana safe lane. Aggressive's played very well in the Mirana. I like seeing him on it. I don't think they've got a good Shadow Demon disruption partner, but the arrow setups are still there.
I don't know. SRF LC. I
I'm
feel
going
like
LFY. Let's go LFY.
yeah. I think we've seen them shine a little more when SRF is on like a crazy playmaker like Sand King, where you're
Yep.
constantly breaking up fights.
I believe in Clinks. That's
Okay.
that's what I think.
The bone flesh.
This hero's
Gabe,
gonna
you're
work.
in on that too?
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down with
Okay, so
All right.
both sides
The
going with
couch.
Team Clinks. Our couch is out, and we are now down to 2 for our final series of the Chinese qualifier. A best of 3 for LFY IG. Loser goes home one step away from the big prize, and the winner of this series, well, Trent, they get the big one. They're going to join you in Canada. The other side, but still, it's Canada. Vancouver, baby. TI8, let's go. No, literally, let's go. I hope we make it.
Oh no, my.
You there,
I don't
Trent?
have my
You good?
hotkeys.
Oh
My-
my! What are we gonna do?
Why don't you do this? Why, Valve?
Hopefully these mini-map icons stay large. Pango with the cheers. Very excited to see how these lanes turn out. Looks like IG will go stock standard. Mirana Shadow Demon up top. They will send the Sand King down bottom to join the LC, and that means it will be Dragon Knight mid. What a surprise.
Some real shocking stuff here. Yeah, I don't know. I have not got to cast a Clinks game since his changes with the old Strafe. So, and it recently got buffed again. So, looking forward to it.
Automatically dodge projectiles. And it now works against non-player units.
Yeah, and the thing is, it only lasts for 3.5 seconds. Like, it has a duration, so you have to kind of time it perfectly. And at the same time, when you're using Strafe, you're not looking to use it as a defensive option, right?
Right, it's all about the attack speed.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a happenstance situation for the most part.
Can dodge ranged attacks or spells. Not and spells, but or spells. If you hold down Alt, it gives you that extra little bit of information there.
Well,
So,
I think that could be an and.
could be an and. I know,
Yeah.
it sounds funny. Ranged attacks or spells.
Only one or the other.
You
It's
know,
an
it's
attack
like
first, it's all
stripes or
attacks.
solids. you have to commit once you get that first ball in the hole. Nice billiards reference for the layman's out there.
Not snooker.
No, not snooker. We're still trying to figure out the rules to snooker. If someone can describe it within the context of a tweet,
Please send it to Mott Dota.
please tweet at Dota because he's been trying to figure this one out for years. It's been struggling.
Monet
He's been
is
struggling.
on the move. He's going to run top. So he doesn't want to have to deal with any sort of TP shenanigans of being chased down. And if they decide to follow him to that top lane, he will gladly TP back down to the bottom. And they're just looking to secure him a better matchup. So now, Inflame, I'm sure if you guys were just tuning into the last one, you know that he's got a hell of a Pango. It would seem top of the net worth leading into the end of the game. Silver tier, pub spamming extraordinaire.
Shield crashing, rolling, thundering, swashbuckling.
Oh, this is where Andrew learns all of the names because he doesn't know what they are. Is that, what's happening right now?
Ah, yes. Rolling Thunder, Pangalier's ultimate. I am actually not a Pango player. I played Willow a whole bunch, but I have not played Pango all that much. I do know the name of his spells. Thank you, Trent. Trying to give Reddit some extra dirt on me here.
There's already plenty. I don't think they need any more.
Exactly. They don't need any more. I'm already at my limit. I've hit a lifetime quota of flame material, I think. So Q making the rotation up top, joining the LC here. It looks like the lanes have settled down. Offboog got off to a nice start on the clockwork. Hit an early level 2, got a couple of CS in there while the lanes were being moved around. And mid going exactly as you would expect. DK off to a good start, but Super holding his own. His creeps get shoved into the tower. A double damage rune will spawn up top. And it looks like XXS will be treated to some extra right-clicking prowess.
Yeah, Monday's not having the best time up here. He took the level 1 skeleton walk to ensure that he could get top faster, which meant that he didn't have the steering arrows yet, so he's still stuck on 4 lastids.
Well, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Certainly not the ideal start for your Clinks.
Now he's getting pressured every time he walks up here by SRF.
Yeah, one of these situations where the LC is actually a pretty scary laner. Can put on a lot of harass with the overwhelming odds. Level 3 already grabbed that second point in it. Mirana Sand King, a pretty scary lane duo as well.
Afu's way out here. But he'll be okay.
He's fine. He's a clockwork after all.
He got a nice pushback there, too, just to ensure.
Yes, power cogs and whatnot. But the Sand King Mirana, not quite the same kill power as the Sand King Lesh, but definitely some kill threats. And if you connect with that Burrow Strike. I guess Pango, not the easiest target to kill, but here it is. Burrow Strike into arrow, the lead for extra attack speed. And that's going to be your first blood. So I might have cursed him. Shield crash, certainly not enough to survive.
Yeah, that was perfectly executed. And, well, Clockwork this time looks like was not quite as fortunate in his maneuvers there.
Yep.
Caught out. Last time, Q didn't go for the disruption. You have to be sure that you're going to get the kill, because that's 2.5 Shadow Poisons. And you can't really afford to waste the mana. It does take quite a bit out of you. So gets the kill. Clarity's up, and very pleased with himself, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. 2 kills for IG, a 2K net worth lead. The CS discrepancy growing in the mid as DK furthers his advantage there. And now both side lanes favoring IG at least a little bit as we get the ball rolling, getting closer to that first set of bounties. DK, first one to hit level 5. And
oh my god.
Poor Super.
Yeah, man, this lack of rotations is just brutal. I mean, he'll get himself a little bit of a siphon now, but you can even see that while siphoning, it doesn't even add that much, you know?
Well,
just going to regen that right back.
As you'll see, Yao was killed in the bottom lane. And back up top, a wraparound from Afu. Looks like he won't be able to get there in time. Bummer.
Yeah, just another combo down bottom. And you have Bulbika just chilling by a haste rune, deciding which lane he's going to go to, but he was pinged out by the Radiant there, so Inflame knows that he's coming with this.
Still hanging around. There's level 2 Burrow Strike now. Might not be able to find much with this haste. Pango actually jumps in, though. Couple of mangoes. Ooh, Baboka misses the Burrow Strike. Unfortunate. Yao gets away with the pull. And gets a little lane momentum back in favor of the Radiant. Now up top, seeing a little skirmish. Shadow Demon does use a disruption to get away from Afu.
Yeah, no real chance at a solo kill there unless he's going to be able to get him with the cogs.
XXS is really dominating mid, though. You expect him to win this matchup, but I think this is more disproportionate than we've seen.
I think it's just, like, you don't have anything you can do, really, as the DP in this situation. He's got the Quelling Blade as a DK, so he's just going to have the higher damage. Rotations are so limited these days. I mean, look who's here now. You've got 2 heroes trying to close in on XXS to try and turn this into something.
Well, Nightmare into Exorcism. Afu now banished. A little miscommunication there. Baboka says, hey, I really wanted to stun him. But IG say, we're going to rotate more. They lock down the clockwork. Even Aggressive coming in to make that a sure kill. Level 5 Mirana now just headed back to the bottom lane. But they do punish that rotation. First Exorcism from Super. yields basically nothing.
Yeah, she's going to miss out on quite a bit, actually. A couple range creeps maybe too, but now the next wave comes through. So she ends up missing pretty much nothing. So not a bad rotation.
For the bottom?
Yep.
Yeah.
Aggressive will be happy. And very scary right now, too. I don't know about this Inflame. This is a bold play.
Yeah, not going to find a bounty rune,
He's
that's
dead
for sure. Now set up with Q into the arrow, stun from Baboker. No soul catcher, but they don't need it.
All right, so I can understand his logic there, because the wave is pushing into the tower. You would not think that the supports are going to be rotating to gank you then. He probably thought they were going top or something. That's my best guess at the very least, because that was just simply suicide, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you think any of those supports are there, you're just 100% dead, because it's either going to be Disruption in Arrow or Burrow Strike in Arrow, and that's a level 3 Starfall. With the very dangerous stuff.
No, not the place you want to be. Pango relatively tanky, but not in that kind of a scenario. Seems this bottom lane has not really done much for LFY. Yao also pretty far behind on the Bane. In poverty mode in terms of net worth, still only level 3, and hasn't really been able to keep this Pango safe. The Swashbuckle, very annoying, but not doing much in the way of yielding kills. All the while in the top lane, IG struggling to maintain the lane control as LFY interrupt the pull. And old Clinky here just gets it back right in front of his tower. That's exactly what you want. That's a good Bone Fletcher right there.
Yeah, it started out a little rough for Monet, but since then he's managed to kind of keep it at that same gap that he started with. So
he's recovering.
Yep, I mean those rotations mid to help, certainly aiding him.
Clink's one of those weird heroes that doesn't really play well from behind, though at the same time he does have the ability to find those pickoffs and recover very easily. So that's sort of an odd mechanic. Most heroes that don't play well from behind struggle to even find kills when they're behind, and Clink's is one that still just has a lot of built-in damage even if he doesn't have the items.
Yeah, in this game, he doesn't have the absolute best targets either, though.
That's true.
Bottom lane, DK rotating down here with the ultimate. Still level 3 on the Starstorm arrow. Almost finding Yao there.
It's a fishing arrow.
Yeah.
If you hit that on the Bane, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill, so I think worth the...
steal a stack, too. Very nice.
Yep, certainly good. Let's use the Elder Dragon form. Arcane Rune down bottom. Shame the DK couldn't find that before popping the ulti. As we'll see a wraparound in the top lane. Afu still only level 3 himself. Let's take a look at levels here. Bane does hit 4, but Radiant support's a little bit under-leveled relative to that of IG.
Yeah, Afu needs to find that like 4.5 so that he can get the tome, get 6, and try and help Monet to accelerate through kills.
Clinks with the double bling here. Aquila and the Soul Ring on the way.
And much like the DK rotation bottom, now it's going to be super in the top lane with the Exorcism. And XXS is just going to be the person who's just shoved down here. He's just sent down with no ultimate. And they TP Afu as well.
Looks like some tower exchanging. Mid lane, IG putting a lot of pressure on that tier 1.
They can't come near this kill squad in the mid lane either.
Yeah, LFY will use the Exorcism, and they'll knock this tower down pretty quick. And maybe now a rotation from LFY towards the mid.
I don't think they can. Like, if Super TPs, he's pretty low on mana.
This is scary. Pango is 6, though. Rolling Thunder available. Instant disruption from Q. Buys him a little bit of space, but Baboka might be in trouble. Dust utilized. Burrow Strike into the trees, but Rolling Thunder locks him down as Super rotates to secure the kill. So they get 1, and they defend the tower. Definitely an advantage for LFY.
A little greedy, I'd say, from IG. I'm really surprised they're able to get anything on that rotation, because I guess they just weren't expecting Super to TP down, but fine enough still. Plenty of pressure onto the mid tower. DK still has all that space in the bottom lane, and a relatively fresh ultimate for him too, so we're going to have more heroes coming down, and the Radiant Ward has expired, so Afu's caught out here.
Boca with the stun, follow-up arrow from Aggressive, and they get a quick pick on the clock.
That ward right there just expired too. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what punished Afu.
Bit of a bummer. They did also TP in the Bane. IG may just continue the push. They have a siege creep, still a little bit of time left on the Elder Dragon form. Not a bad way to chip this tower down. Bane will finish off the siege creep though, smart choice. And IG will back up and kind of head back to farming. Q stacking up Ancients, always good. I'll turn this into a triple stack, it looks like. Not going for the patented quad stack, though.
No, Lyrical will be very disappointed. I just heard him cursing. My goodness. Such a pleasant boy. Few things will make him so upset.
Shadow Demon. Him and Purge need to have a real good Shadow Demon bonding sesh over stacking efficiency. Because I know Purge is a big fan of the Shadow Demon.
It's true.
I've heard Purge talk about the... whoa! Aggressive. Almost goes down to the Pango. But the Starstorm kills him at the last second. 20 HP. Aggressive walks away. That is a heartbreaker.
That's just a casual 360 experience thrown over to old Marana. So half a level. Pretty nice.
It's kind of a struggle for this Pangolier. Arcane Boots going into Blink Dagger, definitely not having that same presence as we saw in the last game.
No,
but
I think he got the Javelin first last
Monet,
time.
He's dusted, he's purged, he's dueled. Epicenter on top. IG find a victory for SRF and a kill on the enemy position 1. Great smoke rotation. That Blink Dagger from LC could not have been debuted better. Now back mid, it's a defensive hook from Afu. It won't be enough to keep him alive. The Cogs might even hurt Super more than they help him. Super trying to heal up through it, but it's not going to happen. That's 3 down, and IG looking like they could run away with this one as their cores top the charts.
Oh, no.
That's a little friendly fire on those Cogs, I think, there.
He just got a hook shot, too. And his first one is a very, very close escape attempt, and then into a instant suicide onto his ally.
Well, you know. No man left behind. If I go down, we go down together.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure he could have hit the Ancients, but it was a panic moment. So, and he probably just would have got the old Petrify from the boys, the Prowlers, anyway. So.
Yeah. Well, congratulations for the first to 10 kill bettors out there. IG has made it 10-1. Huge lead for them at 13 minutes. LFY going to need to shake this one off and look for a good rotation here. They will smoke up as 3. Super still struggling to get that Yule's Scepter. They need something. Yeah,
they're really hoping they're coming down for this tower. That's their thought right now, is that, like, okay, hopefully their IG are smoking up and coming bot, but they actually smoked and went top. So they will be very disappointed.
Both teams with kind of the same idea, though.
Yeah. They'll at least get this vision down here, and with Inflame kind of pushing the tower. See if they can force something here.
DK mid, looks like he'll be all right.
Yeah, DK, or rather, Dire side fully aware of what's going on. They scan on top of the heroes.
Yeah.
However, Clinks does push objectives fairly well. They have the DP, they have the Clinks as well. They could probably stick around for this tier 2 because they want to force the fight.
So I wanted to bring this up because I noticed Clinks did not have a casual Blightstone earlier. He was just going to go Deso, so not even a casual Blightstone, just the build here. But I think a value pickup for a Clinks at any size.
Yep.
Helps you siege faster, just buffs up all that physical damage you got going on from your searing arrows. It's pretty darn good. Going for a 3-3-3 build. Very interesting.
Yeah, I was hoping to find a grip here on the XXS, and he gets it. How much can they do?
Ooh, also nearby, some TPs coming in. There's the press the attack, immediate duel onto Clinks, and they're going to turn this. They might not get the duel damage, but Clinks is in a lot of trouble. Stunned for ages as the Epicenter gets queued, and now Yao on the run with nowhere to go. It's a twofer the other way. The dream set up for LFY completely thwarted by a good rotation from SRF.
Yeah, underrated aspect of Legion Commander for sure.
Yeah, press the attack,
peasy.
pretty good there.
Yeah, fairly good against the old Bane hero. Much like the Abaddon counter, kind of the exact same situation. Very disappointing stuff there. I mean, of all heroes, though, attempting that on the DK is
ambitious.
It's extremely ambitious. Like, this is a Clinks with, as you said, a Blightstone. He does not have a Deso or anything at this point.
Still, you're dealing with 19 armor and about 2k HP on this guy. So
yeah, this is that DK. You know, the super major DK was super lame. China Qualifier DK is ownage.
Yes.
He's a good hero. He seems to be doing well every time. I mean, he keeps getting these good lanes. He's against like Storm Spirit or Death Prophet, some lane where he has a great start. life is good. No one rotates or anything. And when the rotations come, you're like, I'm a DK. My team's going to get here in time.
Well, it's like teams have figured out the way to play DK, and you've got to play him in this very safe, low-risk kind of mentality where he's all about getting a lead and maintaining it. And the DKs that seem to flop at the Super Major, a lot of it was getting ganked early, getting too aggressive, like I just traded my life for a tower. If you do that too many times, you lose your own momentum and transfer too much farm to the team. Then all of a sudden, this tanky DK feels very manageable. But in games like this has been the recurring theme. He's 1k up on the enemy comparable mid laner, itemizing very well right into a BKB after Drum of Endurance, Soul Ring Treads, a lot of great stats.
Yeah.
Not an easy hero to deal with when you maintain this kind of lead.
If I were to point towards a way for LFY to get back into this game, I would be thinking about the Pango having an impact here. Because Inflame has been okay in terms of, like, he's always on the lanes. He's getting a decent amount of farm.
Savage.
He's getting himself...
Pango needs to have just any impact,
Well, he's
period.
0-3-1, and he bought a Blink Dagger. Like,
I see what you mean.
He needs to, like, make some shit happen with his Blink Dagger.
He needs to crank this up to 11.
I think in some way, like, the team needs to play around him. And they were trying, like, with that maneuver down bottom, but they were found out.
Yeah. It's tough. I mean, Pango, the counter example to what I just described with DK, one that when he doesn't have a good start, it feels like, hey, let's just run away from him. What's he going to do? And eventually it'll get to that point where he runs in and it's like, guys, just kill him. You know, Pango, kind of like Axe in that regard, he can't not be in the front line in those big fights. You know, he doesn't really have a choice. And that is one of the limitations of the hero. Not versatile in that regard. 4K net worth lead, though. IG seem pretty comfortable just keeping this a nice, calm, and steady game. Both teams with really good warding right now. Deep ward from the Radiant to get some eyes on this farming, but Dire, the same idea. Wards deep on the other side of the map, as well as some great defensive wards around the river, giving them intel on rotations, these main access points. Really no good opening for LFY to find pickoffs or rotations right now unless they really commit to a 5-man smoke or something like that. But at the same token, I think LFY okay with slowing down the pace of things, getting up this first round of core items, the Deso on the Clinks, as well as this newly fashioned Yule's Scepter on the Death Prophet, two potential game changers. And looks like they will take heed to my advice. 4-man smoke into enemy territory, but well, look who's reacted. It's IG, and there is no one to be found. Maybe this Sand King, Baboka. Oh, he's going to walk into the danger zone, straight into the hook shot, now silence. But will the follow-up be there? Bane not able to lock him down. He gets dusted. Burrow strikes to the low ground, but this time the Pango is able to chase, and they do find a kill. So it's something, but that's a 5-man rotation for just a Sand King. And you look around the map, and the rest of IG spread all around the jungle, still continuing to farm.
Yeah.
Not a big economic gain for LFY despite making that rotation and finding a kill. Blade Mail now up on LC.
They do still have the Exorcism, though, so maybe with that in combination with the Rolling Thunder, they can try and find something.
For sure. Also a
well,
scary point where DK now gets that little 15 talent. 35 damage. Look out.
So currently it feels like LFY have said, okay, we're just going to try and farm, right? We're like, we've attempted a couple plays. They didn't go that well. We're happy letting you guys make the first move. You know, they have the Dragonite on their team.
You don't think any of it has to do with the Deso timing?
No, it definitely does, but I think, like, is there any pressure really for them to try and Exorcism this mid tower right now? I don't think so.
Well,
I think if you try and Exorcism the mid tower, you're fighting into a lot of variables of just like, they'll probably have the DK ult ready. They're probably going to have Moonlight Shadow ready.
so maybe not at this particular moment. I see what you mean, but given that you're this far behind, I don't think LFY, they don't have a Spectre here. This isn't one of those games where they can sit back and say, don't worry guys, we're going to farm through this in another 10 minutes. That 4K net worth lead will feel like nothing. We've got the late game. We're going on our carry here. And Pango down bottom, he's going to get dueled, epicentered, he's going to fall. I think all things equal, the IG draft looks scarier as we scale into the late game. You know, LC is off to an incredible start. She's got the Blade Mail now, the item that proved to be broken in the bot TI earlier.
That was the bot TI MVP for sure.
Yao up top, he's going to get got on. I said got on. He's gone on.
Yeah.
He got.
And this is where it's like, well,
Now
IG
what?
are basically answering, where they're saying, okay, well, we don't need to 5-man at the tower. We're happy to just pick you off on the side lanes because we have the duel, we have Arrow.
IG have great pick potential. They're farming the map a lot better. There's no pressure on them, really. I mean, DK's got a BKB almost at the Blink Dagger now, so they can fight around him if they want to. I think there is pressure on LFY to make something happen because more of the same is just going to put them further at this deficit. Klinks now has a BKB queued up. I hope they try to go for some fights or pickoffs before Klinks gets that BKB, or else I think this lead might just get out of control.
I think they're just going to wait until IG make the move, though. I think that's their better option because they have the hook shot ready. You're going to try and get in the back line. You hope that you have some sort of advantage on them with the Klinks in behind, and then you try and get a Blink Rolling Thunder. Like, to me, that seems like it's far more likely to be successful than just wandering around for kills. But
I see what you mean. There is like a certain point where IG will want to take objectives themselves, kind of like this, and if they overextend, that's an opportunity. And with the Klinks X Factor, right, if you pop that back line, if you kill that Shadow Demon, all of a sudden it's a 5v4, and you can kind of break this game wide open. So I get where you're coming from, but looking at this push, can they even do that?
Yeah. They know Bobica's in the trees here. They drew a line.
Rolling Thunder. Tower still goes down. LFY trying to take this fight. A lot of damage on the Mirana. Fiend Script's used, but now big follow-up from the Sand King. Super and Yao go down right away, and now Monet on the run in a lot of trouble. SRF just needs one more, and he might just find it. No, Pango will actually repel him. Buyback now by Yao. And, oh my, he falls to the Shadow Demon in the end.
Wait, what?
Q got the kill on Monet. He must have Shadow Poison on him.
Wow, I didn't even notice. That's actually
I didn't notice either. That's I think that's why he let him go. I was like, why did the LC not go up to high ground? He had full HP. It's a little scary, even with the Yao buyback, but you know there isn't a Fiend Script, and I think he did the math on the Shadow Poison. Well done.
Right.
So there you go, Trent. They get the tower, and the fight goes the way of IG.
But what happened, though, is so I saw Yao drawing on the tree lines. I thought he knew that Bobica was in there. So in my mind, what was going to happen was they were going to flare over the trees, spot the Sand King, and hook him.
That would have been
great. And then look for the Pango to roll into the heroes they enclosed after. But that was not what happened. They went and they killed the Mirana, which was an okay way for it to start. But then Bobica just completely answered back with a 3-man Burrow Strike in the epicenter. So the full plan did not seem to be realized.
This guy. One hell of a Sand King performance.
That's quite the face,
so far.
too.
Yeah, he looks really happy.
He looks like Underlord. Doesn't he? His
looks
head
like
looks like Underlord.
They share a distant relative,
I
perhaps.
think that is a bastard child there.
Whoops.
And while you're watching that...
thanks, Trent. Thanks.
What, me? How's that?
You know, you're hyping up Sand King, and you telling me to Sand Case and poking me under the table here, you rat bastard. But look at this sneaky play. Like, hey, Pango's dead. They're never going to expect us to walk into the Roche pit. We've got a Klinks. We've got a Medallion. I think. Yep, they've got a Solar Crest even on the DP.
They don't even have Exorcism, so yeah, this is pretty impressive.
This is very risky, but it's so risky that you would just not think that they're going to do this. I also missed Clockwork dying in the bottom lane because we were looking at Roche. But
hey, man, he's making space.
That's exactly it. And that's the trap. You think, what's this Clockwork doing down here? Surely they're up to something, and lo and behold, they are. I don't know if this is enough to really get LFY back into this game. They had to pay 2 heroes and a tier 2 tower to get that Aegis, but at least it's something. They are so far behind in this game, they have to take some risk. They have to do something unorthodox to get back in it, because they are not going to win this one with straight 5v5 skirmishes.
No, it's not looking good. I mean, XXS didn't even use his BKB in that top tower push. He still has a 10-second BKB on this Dragon Knight.
I believe it. And we can take a look at the items here as we'll see a 5-man smoke from IG across the mid lane. Big difference in those inventories. Only a couple heroes with completed core items on LFY, and IG with a whole flurry of scary items. Even a Hyperstone now on this Dragon Knight as they Moonlight Shadow on top of the smoke. They might find a Bane.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And they will. Yao with a Nightmare. Up top, though, they get the duel on Super, and this Death Prophet won't even get to use that haste she has bottled up. They get the high prize target. Yao with the TP out. Aggressive, not able to shoot an arrow. It's still on cooldown.
Man.
But
when
still, Death Prophet down.
When you're so far behind that you have to go for the Solar Crest instead of either the Eon Disc or the BKB or something, you're not having a great game on Death Prophet.
No, definitely not. I mean, honestly, he's having a pretty good game on Death Prophet considering the state of affairs.
I suppose so.
But you're right. When your team is this far behind, it's never a good sign. A lot of that net worth discrepancy coming from the supports as well. Bane at 1.3K. The lowest on IG is Shadow Demon at 4.5K. So that alone is a pretty big discrepancy. He's got a Aether Lens on this Shadow Demon. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, for those disruptions especially.
Boca in the danger zone. Might be baiting a fight here. Fiend Script will finish him off, but Arrow does connect on Bane, so they'll go 1-for-1.
Oh, no.
Super might have popped this ultimate a little early. Mirana will get Yules, but BKB pulls the Ancients and leaps to the low ground. Aggressive still might be able to live here, but it's going to be tight. Shadow Demon gets silenced, so no disruption. And they do end up grabbing the Mirana.
Great
so
silence
2
there.
for 1. LFY actually get more out of that than predicted.
Okay. Great way to start. Killing Boca. I mean, you talk about these supports having some gold. That means when they go down, it costs them.
Yeah, that's nice for Bane.
And then we just go back to farming, though. That is the life.
Sure do.
What else is there to do?
I think IG maybe continuing to stay defensive until the Aegis is gone.
Yep.
Would be surprised, and they'll take this opportunity to finish up BKB on the Legion Commander. Be looking for a Shadow Blade after that. Sand King now has a gem. That's quite nice.
That is the full closeout item.
Yeah.
And they're just constantly, they've already Shadow Poisoned both cliffs. Just ensure there's no wards up there. So now they know that this whole part of the map is clear. And they can kind of move in and just keep going by each quadrant of the map here.
Pango with a Yule's Scepter.
Bane just watching these people invade on the run.
It's a tough life for the Bane.
Oh, he's dropping a ward behind him too. Don't think he's aware of the gem, but they won't venture that far, just in case. So up top here, there is a hook shot ready.
There is also a Pango nearby. They are considering this. 3-on-1. Now Monet making the rotation.
They have to go for this now.
Aggressive. He does have 3 leaps. There's the Yule set up from Pango. Rolling Thunder.
Nice.
And it's enough. Pops the BKB. Last shot from Monet. Gets it.
Team?
Q.
They're just ditching him.
He sets up onto Afu, and he'll just TP out, but Boca's there. They will leave him high and dry.
Okay, wow. The guerrilla warfare is 100% real right now. I can't... There was some weird miscommunication there, because Afu didn't hook the Disruptor, or the Shadow Demon until Mirana was already dead, so like there was no threat of disruption. So, I don't know.
Peculiar.
He was like, guys, we're just going to kill this guy too, right?
I think it felt like a bait. You know, there are a lot of heroes farming the jungle. You don't know if IG are just kind of sitting on the periphery, looking to protect the Mirana there. So scared of the rotations, I think, is definitely a worthy cause for concern. It definitely looked a little funny from our bird's eye view. BKB now up on the Clinks. Not too much time left on this Aegis. In fact, about 30 seconds. But he is going to go into the Daedalus coming up next. So just big time damage for the Clinks. Getting that back line, blow up the supports as we've been talking about.
Yeah, that is the end of the Aegis, though. It is about to expire in just about 10 more seconds here. So that's likely the go call here for IG to get back up on the horse.
Yeah, things feeling maybe a little bit better for LFY, but haven't fixed any of their big problems, which is really the DK. Still farming about an item ahead of the Death Prophet. Full Assault Kuros, and going to have a Mjolnir coming up next.
They're going to smoke right through a ward, too, so kind of false sense of security here. But with Mirana's positioning, that's enough that they probably won't know what's going on. Okay, now they're going through another ward here, so once again...
Weaving in and out of the vision. Great use of the Moonlight Shadow. Looking for the catch onto Super, but Boca with the stun. There's the press the attack duel. That will be the end of the DP. Great way to start a fight. And now they press forward, grab the Bane as well. And that'll be 2 down on LFY. IG still pretty much topped off. I think this will be an easy rotation just into that tier 2 mid.
Oh, man. 2 straight smokes catching the DP first. Absolutely brutal. Great maneuvering across the map here from IG.
I feel like this is how you play an LC. They're playing around this hero so well. Mostly farming. Then you have this concentrated effort where you say, hey, guys, let's see if we can get a duel. Okay, sweet. Right back to farming. You know, it's just almost a lockdown piece of the hero more than anything else. High ground siege. No buyback available on the Death Prophet, though up in 10. DK ult saved for this, so a lot of duration left. Big damage onto the tower. Rolling Thunder in. Does connect on a couple heroes. Pretty good damage on the Mirana. Enough that they need a defensive disruption, but now SRF has a duel. Jumps back in. Aggressive just gets destroyed by Monet. And now the LC also not looking so good on the right clicks. It's a great initiation from LFY as they get 2. And now Dragon Knight being pushed back. He has to pop his BKB. Swaps the TP into the inventory. Blink away. He might still live, but it's going to be a close one. Trying to find a spot in the trees. There's the TP out. Magic Immunity will expire, but no way to stop it.
Wow, I can't believe he found a blink in there. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
How?
I actually don't know. Either way, big swing, big hold for LFY. The perfect debut of that 10-second BKB on Clinks. As soon as he showed up to that fight, it was just over. That Mirana just straight up died. I mean, she's only got 17 armor, but still, Monet just cut right through that.
Yeah, and if there's one thing we know about comeback heroes and some of the most like successful ones, it's always about being able to take objectives extremely quickly after some sort of a victory. I mean, that's a fight won at their own tier 3, and they still managed to get a tower. Largely because the wave clear is decent and that lane happened to be in a good spot, but you get these Lunas, these Terror Blades, or in this case, a Clinks. Do not rely too heavily on cooldowns for shoving in building objectives.
So, Trent, well, let's take a second and educate the non-Clinks players out there. Blade Mail is not considered a projectile, correct?
No.
So Blade Mail is still far and large like your counter to Clinks, pops on strafe.
If you've got enough HP, but if he's got a death pack going, I mean, look, he's a pretty tanky lad.
That's true. If you've got enough HP. We'll see the LC catch a duel onto the Clockwork. Probably not going to get damage out of this one, but still locks him down long enough to grab another kill for Invictus Gaming. So I guess that's the one thing Clinks really needs to look out for, though. BKB on, he's doing that kind of damage. Blade Mail is definitely not his friend.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be worrying too much about SRF, though, honestly. The DK and the Mirana are his two core targets. I mean, you can see, I'm actually surprised Legion started catching back up. In fact, she was starting to fall behind the Stand King before Boba got picked off earlier.
Well, she's got a double damage now, so they're going to go into Roche. IG realizing that letting LFY sneak that Roche did let them hang on to some momentum and prevent that early game from being completely disastrous. And now 32 minutes in, it's a manageable gold lead. 8-25 feels massive, but 5K net worth, that's one team fight. LFY wipe them once, they're right back even. Aegis Cheese now, we'll see if IG can further this lead. They smoke up straight out of the pit, still about half duration on the DK ult. Who will they find? They have great wards.
Look who they're seeing everyone's movements in here. But yeah, a little bit of a painful experience there. Losing the Clockwork means they don't have that vision across the map, looking for the pit whenever they want to check. They probably thought that it was going on, but they also didn't have the Rolling Thunder up. So not much option to contest there.
Yeah, it looks like this smoke will not yield much. LFY just splitting outside of the base, still trying to get some farm. Clinks now with the Crystallis.
A real victory for the Radiant will be getting that gem.
Oh, yeah.
Because so far it's just letting IG control everything vision-wise. And they're already at a vision advantage because of the Moonlight Shadow.
Pango's got the Basher queued up. Some extra control. BKB. There's the SNY on Mirana. So just trying to get a little more survivability against the Clinks.
It's an interesting pick. Some general tank ability, maybe not feeling like she can go for a Scotty or something.
I was thinking it would kind of be Manta, but no Orchid queued up for Clinks at all. In fact, Lincoln's going to be the choice after Daedalus. I guess with BKB, Manta feels like overkill in a lot of ways.
Yeah, Manta Clinks does not feel that great.
No, Manta on Mirana.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the Clinks and the Lincolns.
No, I was talking about Clinks. I'm anticipating he might go Orchid, but he's not.
I see what you're saying. I got you.
Yes.
I was wondering what you were on.
Yes. Did I really say that so weird? BKB used by DP, as well as the LC. It's a pretty good initiation here. They've already killed Yao on the backside. Super does get off the Exorcism, but not going to get healed up by the Shrine. Buyback from the Bane. It's still a 4v5. BKB popped by Monet defensively. Pango rolling on through, breaking up the fight a little bit, but not really doing too much damage. Defensive Nightmare buys some time for the Clockwork, but this fight is not looking good for LFY. Afu almost TP's home, will not make it there, and on the other side, LFY just head right down the mid. They want to cut this creep wave. Smart play from Monet.
Yeah, he came into that fight and didn't have a strafe up, I think just from farming, so hard game, you know. Has to pop his BKB and just run.
Yeah. So anyway, since Clinks didn't get Orchid, Mirana doesn't have to get Manta. That's what we were getting at.
I tell you, if there is any way to tell how important positioning is on Clinks, taking the 100 attack range over the 20 HP regen. I mean, it's true. It's not going to save you during a fight and everything, but it's, you know, when you look at that, you're just like, damn, that's a lot of HP regen.
He has 5 right now, just for reference.
Yeah.
So it's like a 5xer where he'll
but,
be.
No, it's totally right. Like, it is, I'm sure, the correct thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, you're at that stage where you don't really care about regen. You kill creeps fast enough that, you know, I get it. I would definitely be favoring the attack range as well. Rolling Thunder again up top, Baboka.
That is one thing, is that he can just keep using that to TP out. However, that has, you know, that's partly why he doesn't have it when things like the Roche Pit happens, you know?
Yeah. It's a cute little play, but it's definitely not the shortest cooldown. 70 seconds, not the longest cooldown either. So, Maelstrom now, and then into the old Basher.
It's a weird hero to build, too, like this defensive and offensive combination. Going for things like auras with the Greaves, and then heading back towards damage to make your Swashbuckle useful.
Look at this DK. He actually changed his mind. He was looking for the Maelstrom. Oh, mass Exodus here as they all TP, but he's going to go straight damage. He's got a crit stick queued up now. Crystallis and the Recipe coming for the Courier, but they're not an uncommon item on DK, but it feels like at this stage you'll often see like MKB, definitely Mjolnir, some of those stepping stone type damage items rather than just the straight crit.
Yeah. No, it is a little bit unusual.
Eon Disc on the way for Sand King.
DP never got into her. She went for the Shiva's Guard instead. Will be her next choice, too. It's just kind of interesting. We talk about this Eon Disc being a fairly good item, one would think, up against the Legion Commander, so you can't just be instantly jumped.
Yeah. It's a good point, especially given that Super's been caught in three engagements now by a Blink Duel. The last one was the first time he didn't just get blown up and was still at least able to use BKB Exorcism and kind of have some semblance of team fight, but still, the damage was done. You never want to pop that Exorcism BKB on 20 HP. That never feels great.
Well, LFY, they should know Aegis is gone. I think they're going to smoke here and try and find a fight with the Aegis being down once that dragon is killed. And this will be one of their last chances, I think, to try and save the base. I know, Waves are in a pretty good spot. I guess they perhaps think that IG are smoking, and that's what this stance is.
Yeah, both teams in a little bit of a standoff type position.
It's, I don't know. I'm not sure. They have a gem on the Pango, so I guess they should know that they're not in vision.
So is that both teams with a gem now? Yeah, looks like it. Vision definitely a little more limited. Also that stage of the game where you can feel a little more confident with your Mirana, just burning these moonlight shadows, looking to see what you can find. If you don't catch anything, it's basically just a smoke on a shorter cooldown. And of course that 25 talent. Godlike. Minus 20 or 75 on the Moonlight Shadow cooldown.
I feel like aggressive Q and Bobica have just been holding hands for the past, I'd say, 25 minutes. Like, ever since they first went mid as a trio, they have just been together almost nonstop.
Yeah, it feels like IG are a little scared right now. Really respecting the power of LFY despite having such a big advantage, 8 to 28. DK still farming at the top. Even Mirana has overtaken the leading farmer of LFY.
And these moments don't feel that great when you're playing Dragon Knight too, right? Because he never wants to ult just to farm. So when you're not fighting and you're not taking objectives, it just means he's essentially losing out on his hero.
Kind of, yeah. We have seen some DKs like use the ult to farm Ancients and stuff, but it is a risky proposition. If you get scouted out or you get caught at the wrong time.
Yeah, you simply can't at this point in the game. And right now they're all standing on a dire ward, but the Pango's not here with the gem. You need to clear this out.
Is this the opportunity? IG are making the rotation. Nice use of the ward. It will get killed immediately, but still confirms that there's a rotation coming their way. Stalemate continues as both sides back up. LFY head to the west side of the map.
And they got a big break, I think, by not losing a tier 3 at the very least from that last Aegis and Cheese. I'm pretty shocked. I really thought IG would be able to make that push, and I think that's going to hurt them in the end. Because now they are going to rely on another one of these pickoffs in the Clockwork, because Clockwork should be the hero that's controlling the Roche Pit over and over.
Yeah.
And Moonlight Shadow very far away from any enemy heroes, so perhaps thinking they were going to catch someone right there in the rivers, they had that Observer Sentry combo, but the side of LFY have backed away. Yao, I think, has been hugging this cliff for so long. He's either here or with the, another
again,
one.
Look at that farm discrepancy on the bottom 4. Bane is still so poor compared to the Shadow Demon. Bane still doesn't have any items.
Yeah.
He's got a Mango.
And at this point, it's not even anything like Tower Gold or something, right? Like, Shadow Demons get 66 last hits.
A lot of it's just hero kills, too. That's another big difference.
Yeah.
Earn now going to be picked up by Q. This is a serious stalemate here, Trent. Both sides very much struggling to find the initiation, playing very tight, all within an arm's length of each other. Roshan, late respawn. Going to be another 2 minutes before it comes up. IG obviously don't have that last Aegis, but they do still have the cheese in the inventory of the DK. So if they get this next Rosh, they'll have double cheese, Aegis, and Refresher Shard. This is going to be a big one. Also, visibility now on LC. That's a Lothar's.
LFY need this Aegis to have a chance, it feels like to me. Whereas IG, as long as they don't get like wiped in the pit. Like if LFY sneak the Rosh, I don't feel that bad. It's like,
yeah,
it's good for LFY and it gets them into a fighting stance, but I don't think it automatically means IG lose. I think if IG just get this, I would be floored if they not get a Rax off of Aegis Cheese Refresher Shard. That seems like a completely done deal.
I'm with you. I don't know how you hold once they have double cheese Aegis Refresher.
Yeah.
Especially on a hero like DK with that Refresher.
with 2 cheese. I mean, obviously he won't be able to use both, but still.
Well, with the Refresher
I guess
Shard.
that's not true.
Actually, does the Refresher Shard refresh cheese?
I would assume so, yeah.
I would assume so too, but I don't know if I've ever actually seen somebody with 2 cheeses, cheese, Refresher
Dude, we
Shard,
are learning
again.
so much right now. Hover over that cheese. It is not a consume, it's a fondue. You have a cheese fondue.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Trent,
What, is there actually a fight?
On to Pangolier. They get the duel, and Pango's going to get popped.
Oh, it's
just
the
like
fondue.
He's
Got
going to
him.
buy back, though, and now Afu gets left behind, and he's going to be this next target. They do manage to keep him alive, but BKB gets popped. Marana commits for it. Now Super in some trouble, perhaps. All the BKBs are flying, but IG might have the damage. Fiend's Grip onto the Dragon Knight. They can't finish off SRF. Instead, they have to turn on the DK. Klinks is going to lose that BKB, and he's forced to retreat. Super's lost his, and he's taking way too much damage. XXS is an absolute machine right now. Buyback used on the Clockwork, as well as the Sand King. Pangolier, if he dies here, it's going to be a dieback. He doesn't have an ult, no way to get out, and he is in the grave for 110. DP also down without buyback. They'll catch Yao. He will be able to buy back into this one, but IG might not even go for Rosh and instead just look to cripple it. LFY just tap out.
Yeah, SRF
GG.
is bringing the wave mid. Okay, you see what happened there is we talked super serious for like 15 minutes and nothing happens, so I need to distract you away from the game and instantly there's a team fight.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I
The
was just trying to make you miss it.
The fondue came in handy
In the
for
clutch.
the DK. That was an appropriate time to learn that quick little tidbit.
He's a gourmet aficionado.
What a game that is representative of the stakes, though.
Yeah.
You know, it's like IG that far ahead, but they're kind of timid to go up to the high ground, force things too early because they know just one failed fight, LFY is right back in this game. On the flip side, LFY know that they're just one lost fight away from losing the entire game. So we spent, what, a whole 10 minutes there almost, it felt like, with no real fighting, no real pickoffs, just both teams with very perfect, beautiful positioning. Then all of a sudden, it just takes one catch.
Yeah, I felt not too much impact there from the Klinks. I don't feel like we got to see a Klinks game. I was looking forward to seeing one.
I was going to say that about the Bane. Felt like Yao really struggled that game.
Well, I don't think he had a fight where he could really shine.
I don't know that it was his fault, but he just, you know, like normally you have like Bane, Marana, or some kind of combo where he's at least setting things up. There were a couple okay Fiend's grips, but it often felt like, oh, Bane's Fiend's gripping. Okay, that's just a free kill. That's a free arrow.
Yeah.
He just got completely counteracted. I mean, 3K damage, bottom of the barrel net worth. Let's see how his Sentry performance was. Oh, he bought 27
Dude,
Sentry wards.
I know.
21 Observer wards, a gem, 5 smokes, and a Courier.
It's hard, man.
That's where his net worth went.
It's a hard life. Like at 5,800 gold in support
Jeez.
items. Damn, dude. Yeah, but I think this game comes down to the fact that IG they had superior vision a lot of the time. Like they had really good wards for the first like 27, you know, minutes of the game. That whole idea of just like watching these early rotations, because if they were going to be successful for LFY, they wanted some sort of movement which you would assume is going to be a scout from Monet into a hook shot into a pickoff, and then we come in with the Exorcism with the Pangolier there and we take a tower.
Yeah.
They never found that. They had 3 kills for the vast majority of this game.
Yeah.
And they found some more later on where IG started to maybe slip a little bit, you could say. But I mean, XSS, he didn't slip. 12-0 and 8.
Yeah, great performance for Q as well. 4-0 and 18 on the Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
Pretty good support score. But I think that is as close to a perfect DK execution as you're ever going to see. He dominates the lane. There was never a moment in that game when he wasn't number 1 on net worth, never overcommitted. They played around his ultimate really well. That's just exactly how you have to execute with Dragon Knight. You can't get too big for your britches. You can't overstep those bounds,
No,
or
they
else
definitely did not
you
overstep.
lose that momentum. You know, they played very good controlled Dota. Super impressive.
All right, well, I guess we'll see if LFY can find a better answer. Into the next game.
This is do or die time. IG 1 win away from qualifying for the International 8 in Vancouver for the big bucks, the pride, the money, and likewise LFY. They need this game 2 to bring us to an ace match and keep their hopes alive in this qualifier. We're going to take a break, then we're coming right back to see what happens in game number 2.